It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Lake race in the books. We've got that and a whole lot more. It's time for a cup of coffee with Wild Will and your man, Uncle Chris, right here at Slumberland at the lake. Man, what a crazy weekend we just wrapped up last weekend, Chris. It was great. You had lake race, all kinds of things going on in the race. The lake. We'll talk about the results. We'll show you some cool video. We'll also update a few stories that we've told you about, and also huge weekend this weekend with the world's biggest boat parade attempt anyway for the Guinness World Record. We'll have Legina Fitzpatrick from the TCLA on to talk about that and get you guys registered. That and a whole lot more on this week's show. But first, got to find out what's going on here at Slumberland.
Hey guys, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. You're not going to want to miss this sale. It's our Friends and Family sale this Saturday and Sunday, the 12th and 13th. We've got some crazy good deals, stuff that I'm not even allowed to tell you about. So come check out our Friends and Family sale this weekend at Slumberland, where it's always a good life.
And we are back, and as promised, we have the interim executive director for the TriCounty Lodging Association, Legina Fitzpatrick. Legina, good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely, and I can't believe, as you guys and so many community members have been working on this event for months now, that it's this weekend. And as the clock is ticking, we kind of wanted to have you on this week and just remind people of the importance of not only registering, but what the schedule of events are going to be like for Saturday. So you said registrations over the weekend started to pick up. So how is it looking as a whole at this point?
They did. Well, we still need a couple hundred boats, so keep on getting online and registering, folks. So over the weekend, we ran a lake race special, because we had our fabulous lake race this weekend, and we did receive over 80 registrations just over the weekend. So
awesome.
That was fabulous. We were down on the Bagnell Dam Strip during lake race, and a lot of folks from all over the country were there, and we were talking up, so that was great exposure. So we still need people to go online and register. I know I'm the same. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's this week. It's Saturday. And I want to stress the importance that I know you can show up and register at Dog Days that day. So people are kind of waiting if they're concerned about weather, which we're still going unless the Water Patrol tells us that we can't. You can still register the day of the event at Dog Days.
Yeah, but we don't recommend that.
Yeah, but register before.
Yes.
Register before, yes.
And you want to make sure that you get all of the goodies that are included with that $50 registration fee, which includes the t-shirt, the flag, and all of those things. And I did see some posts online over the weekend asking, where does this money go? And I wanted you to remind people where all this money is going, which we're super excited about for August.
Yes, this whole thing was designed as a fundraiser in celebration of the 200th birthday of Missouri and the 90th anniversary for the dam. So it's going to go to a huge fireworks show. I'm going to go on record, Will, to say the largest fireworks show in Missouri. Can I say that?
You can, yeah.
So that's the funds will go, obviously we'll cover our expenses, but then the funds will go towards the fireworks show. They'll take place on Tuesday, August the 10th.
Wow, it's going to be such a cool event. And
very cool.
How about the cake Friday at the street party that Baby Cakes made?
That was awesome.
That was so cool. They actually made a cake, for those of you that didn't see on social media, that was the Bagnell Dam. And the floodgates were open, and I mean that's just incredible. And what a turnout this weekend, since we got you here, and you were director of so many things that happened at the lake race, and what a turnout we had after a year hiatus.
It was great. It was awesome to have that event happening again. We had a great turnout. Like I said, I was talking to people that were from Alaska and Minnesota, and there were people from all over the country here, and we had great weather, great turnout. And the crew, congrats to Tom Abbott and Christy and everybody involved in putting on a great event. Man,
it takes a village for an event like that. Okay, so we got a couple minutes here, and I did want to run down just the schedule of events for Saturday, because I have seen some people say, how are we going to handle that many boats on the water, especially on a weekend in June? And it's actually going to be very organized, again, thanks to Tom Abbott and all he's done facilitating. But can you run down just the schedule for Saturday?
Sure. Well, we are going to have, for anybody that needs to pick up their information, their flag that morning, will be at Dog Days starting at 7 o'clock. We ask people who are registered to go to their milling areas, which they should have received that information online. If they didn't, they can contact me. My information's on the website. And we ask them to be in their milling areas around 9:30 at the latest. So everybody will be positioned based on the size of their boat. And then we'll have a drone and perhaps a helicopter above to check and make sure everybody's in place. And once it looks like we're good to go, we will have safety boats on the water. Again, we want this to be a safe event. And there'll be safety boats with each milling station as well. So we'll get the signal and we'll have the celebration out there on the water, and the celebration horn is going to go off around 10 o'clock, and then we'll start putting people what we're calling through the parade chute, which is officially 2 miles long. So it'll start with like the wave runners, and then the pontoons, tri-toons will be behind that, and then it'll go based on size of boat. So depending on how many boats we have is how long it will take. Everybody will be going idle speed. So again, it'll be a real safe event at idle speed to get everybody through the parade chute.
Gonna be great. And our very own Uncle Chris is gonna be on a pontoon, and he's pumped. Gonna be part of that. And also Governor Parsons gonna be part of this.
Yes, we're hoping so. We're still waiting on confirmation from the governor's office, but he has expressed interest to actually not just watch the parade, but be in the parade. But we're fishing on those
And he
details.
loves this show, so I'm sure he's watching right now. So Governor, be there and bring some
Have
boats.
your people contact me.
Yeah, your people, get in touch with her people, and let's figure out how to make it a shindig. I'm telling you, we still got a chance to beat the Guinness World Record for the largest boat parade ever, but you got to register to be part of this. The Guinness Educator will be on hand to confirm Saturday to make sure that we do have everyone registered and they all part of that. If you aren't registered, go to the bestdamnbirthdaybash.com/boat. What's that, hyphen?
Parade, yes.
Dash parade. Again, bestdamnbirthdaybash.com/boat parade. Of course, you can contact Legina at the TriCounty Lodging Association if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time. And
Thanks for having
Saturday,
me.
we're looking forward to being there, hopefully breaking the Guinness World Record.
Yes, very excited. I want to be in the parade as well. I'm get people registered in the morning, and then I'm getting on the boat, and we're going to be in it as well.
Always a great day to boat on Lake of the Ozarks, especially when you got an opportunity to be part of a record. For the Gina Fitzpatrick with the TCLA, I'm William Holtz. We'll be right back on Cup of Coffee after this.
Hey, welcome to the inaugural episode of What's Burning right here on Lake TV. Do you know who KB is? Have you ever heard of KB?
No.
No.
Oh, yes. I've heard of KB, and I've known him for a long, long, long time.
Yeah, I've heard of that character.
What do you think of him? Is he a good guy? Is he somebody that you would, I don't know, maybe lend $5 to, knowing you to get it back?
Oh, sure, I'd do that. That's easy.
He's kind of a wild man at times, but he likes to work out and push a little iron once in a while.
Man, nice having a beautiful female on set to give people a break from you and I, don't you
Yeah,
think?
and she's so nice. What a wonderful gal, absolutely. And I hope we break the world record this weekend. It's still nip and tuck. So if you're able to register, get registered, sign up for this thing, join in, because I mean we can really break the world record officially, but we can't do it if everybody doesn't join in. So I mean at this point we're still short.
And if you don't have a vessel and you're like, hey, I really want to take part in this, call our friends over at Surdike Yamaha and rent one of their PWCs, because PWCs count.
They do,
and
absolutely.
that is going to be easy to ride, and everybody can drive a PWC. Well, I can think of a couple people that probably shouldn't be trusted on a PWC. You're pointing to me. Actually, that's another story for another time. I got a good one there. All right, so Lake Race officially in the books, Chris, and a great weekend, as we told you the last month or so. It was at Neon Taco. Crazy crowd starting with the street party Friday night on the Bagnell Dam Strip. We were down there hanging out, shooting a bunch of video, and talked to a ton of people. Yeah. They were in from all over the country. They were in from Georgia, Tennessee, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas. I mean, just to name a few that I had talked to. And it was a great weekend, and we're just going to run through real quick for you some of the results in Class 6. First place went to Deception, with second place going to Rindle Power Boats. Then you go to Class 7. Official results, of course, which were not on TV because sometimes there's points docked if you go over the maximum speed you're allowed to for your class.
Yeah, you gotta jump through all the hoops, and if you don't, you get penalized. So even if you cross the finish line first, sometimes penalized time, and that moves you back.
Yeah, and there were a few classes with the races on Saturdays that if you were watching the broadcast on TV, that it looked like somebody else won. They got docked points, and they ended up getting knocked down to second, third, or fourth place. In Class 7, Jackhammer took first. Ella's Nightmare took second. Class 4, GNS Motorsports took first place. Throttle Therapy came in second. In Class 5, Team Woody took first. Bulletproof took second, and Shoreline Plumbing, who looked like they would have taken first place, they got docked some points because either they went over their allotted speed or something happened. So it's Team Woody, Bulletproof, then Shoreline Plumbing with Rindle Powerboats.
And all these classes have a different top speed. That's kind of how it's like Class 7, the top speed is 60. Class 6, it's 70 miles an hour. Class 4, it's 85. The Class 3, 75. So it's the speed that I think separates a lot of the classes.
Yeah, and a lot of these boats are built for their class, and that's the maximum speed, but some of these other boats, they can go faster than they're allowed to, and so the throttleman really has to keep an eye on that speed gauge the entire race.
It's kind of like you driving up Highway 5. Yeah. Gotta let that foot off the gas, man.
I don't know. This guy sometimes, he can be flying. All right, so Class 2, official results. Team Woody took first place. We on Top took second, and the always fan favorite Batman boat, they came in third.
And that top speed is 100 miles an hour, by the way. So
that's crazy.
I saw him at Shootout last year, right? That was greatness.
Yeah, and actually the Bat boat is different, but I got to drive one of Chris Rindle's Bat boats last year on the lake. Got that baby up over 115.
We still have the video of that?
Yeah, 115 miles an hour. Hopefully Ricky can pull that up and show you guys. That's me right there going over 115 miles an hour on the lake, because I ain't scared, baby.
I mean, yeah, because they asked me, you want to do this? Heck no, man. I'm no way.
Unique was still mad. I was talking to her last night about skydiving, and she goes, no, you rode that Bat boat while I'm at home pregnant, wallowing around, she goes, and not even caring. And I go,
wallowing around?
That's what she was doing.
Wow.
And she looked as good then as she ever has, but probably not as good as she does right now.
Nice save.
All right, and then we also had the factory stock only had one entry, and that was Marine Technology. V Extreme had one entry. Knucklehead. Modified V, which is an exciting class, only had one entry. Boatfloater.com. And Stock V, another popular class, only had one entry. Relentless. So it did seem that some of the classes didn't have as many entries, and of course this is the second of the 8-race OPA Championship Series, with 2 weekends ago prior to Lake Race it was down in Cocoa Beach for the annual Thunder on Cocoa Beach. Now, in the final race of the day, there was the Super Stock, and that was one of the more popular ones, especially considering some of the more famous boats, the more fan favorite boats.
And that's an unlimited top speed there at that Super Stock.
And that's why people love it. And if you look at some of the names that placed in that, you'll recognize, of course, CMR took first place. The famous Performance Boat Center with our man Myrick Coyle, and of course Performance, they had that Go Fast diesel boat. CR Racing took third, Jackhammer in fourth. LPC, which is Lauren Peters' boat, took fifth. Bill Allen Lawn Care in sixth. Seventh, FJ Propeller, and eighth is TNT Caddyshack. Now, what was new to this year's lake race was the F1 power boats, and that's really probably the most exciting part of the weekend. And the results, Terry Rinker, he took first. Johnny Fleming took second. Spencer Love took third. The Tri-Hole Lake Race results, Whitney Terry Fletcher took first place. Grant Schubert took second, and Devin Brown took third. Probably, like I said, the most exciting part of the weekend was the boat flips. There was two of those.
Well, that's why everybody watches NASCAR, to see the crashes, right? You know, I mean, and same thing with the boat races. You're looking for flipping and flying, and it happened.
Yeah, and actually, Lake TV's very own director of photography, Andrew Evans, captured this incredible clip of the boat flip in the F1 series, and it has since went viral. This boat driver, there's two boat flips. Both drivers did escape unscathed, thank the Lord.
No injuries.
The first crash, which is the one that Andrew got, we'll show you right now. It was a 71 boat, and it flipped on its canopy. That was Jimmy Kerr from Michigan. And like I said, that was one of two boat flips, but check this video out right here.
Yeah.
just amazing footage, man. I gotta say, Andrew's got to be the best in the business.
Well,
He's been doing it for a long time, and that was a money shot right there.
Yeah, and he knew the second he got it too. You know, sometimes you don't know when you're taking pictures, you don't know if they're good or not. The second he got that, he texted us like, "Oh man, you got to see this," you know, and we're like, "Wow!" So I mean, that's greatness. It was just greatness.
And you saw, thank God he was okay, but you saw as you know, after he got it flipped upside and the front end caught the water, all that momentum threw the cockpit open, and his arm nailed the water. It's a real blessing that there was no injuries. That was just insane. And then of course the second one, we have great pictures here courtesy of our friends at Lake Expo. But like you said, that's why people watch NASCAR. That's why people watch this exciting boat by boat race. And there was 2 boat flips, no one got hurt, but man, what an exciting weekend. And so we officially closed the book on Lake Race 2021. And we
Good to have it back too, because canceled last year, right?
Yeah.
So, great to have it back.
Did try to have a similar one. Performance Boat Center put the one on in October, but not quite the same thing. So as we close the book on Lake Race 2021, we can start directing our attention towards a Lake of the Ozarks shootout, believe it or not, just a couple months away, and we'll start amping up our coverage of that and getting you guys ready for the lake's biggest event of the year. So we're going to have a follow-up on last week's story. Of course, there was a man shot and killed at Lazy Gators, and details emerge, find out it's actually a rapper from the Kansas City area. So this story, courtesy of Lake News Online, there was 3 people initially taken into custody.
Right.
2 have been released after questioning. A third suspect is still in custody. They're not saying whether or not he is the one. They cannot confirm. However, he was stopped because he matched the description, and they found 16 bags of crack cocaine on him that ended up weighing about 5.5 grams. That's a lot of blow, let me say. 5.5 grams, so he is in custody for that. But the crazy thing is, the guy killed his 27-year-old Vonza Watson, but he was under the stage name Avenza. He grew up in Michigan and Jeff City, and he had most recently been living in the Kansas City area. Now, Sheriff Tony Helms with Camden County said he was arrested again for drug-related charges. And Helms also stated that a clear motive has not been established, but he believes it's going to be related to possible gang activity in Jefferson City. And he is urging anybody that was at Lazy Gators that may have had video to please contact authorities. And he says you can even do so confidentially or without having your name tied to it. But he says we need some help, because when they looked at the video footage of Lazy Gators, it was by the pool bar at Lazy Gators. They could see the flash from the gun and then people just running. Now, luckily, Lazy Gators did have 2 deputies that they hired, so the response time was limited, and there was no one else hurt, as we told you. But the reason that we wanted to follow up on this story is because I was also reading that a girl that was dating Watson had said that she had just sensed this darkness around him the last couple months, and when she said to him that, and these were her words, that she sensed death when she was around him, Watson had said to her that that's crazy, because he says, I cannot elude this dark feeling, this eeriness, he says, and sometimes I just want to escape it so bad. And at that point in time, this young lady had urged him to repent and turn away, and she had tried to introduce him to the Lord, because she said she knew and just sensed something was going to happen. So as heartbreaking as it was for her, she was not shocked at all, and just a sad story as a whole. So we'll keep you updated on that as charges officially filed, or if they can figure out if the individual, Chad Brewer, who's in custody, is the one that pulled the trigger. They cannot find an assault weapon. They do believe it was a 9mm pistol, but they have not found a weapon or anything. So still a lot to be determined, and the Camden County Sheriff Department is urging, if you know anything, if you have any video or pictures, please reach out to them and help them. And crazy enough, for that being a gun incident, just this last weekend, another gun incident on the Lake of the Ozarks Bagnell Dam Strip. Looks like on Bagnell Dam Boulevard up at the Jiffy Stop, a couple of brothers got in an altercation. There was a third member, and one of the brothers pulled a gun out of his waistband, points it in the air and pulls the trigger and starts waving it around. Now, luckily, by the time that officers had arrived, someone had gotten the gun from him, one of the 3. and no one was harmed as far as got hit by the gun. They did find not only the 9mm, but also the shell casing in the parking lot at Jiffy Stop, and that was really all the information they gave. But man, getting crazy out here on the weekends at the lake.
Summertime, yeah, absolutely. Summertime, weather getting warmer and people coming into the lake and a whole lot more partying and alcohol being consumed. Stupid stuff like this happens, man. You got to be careful. And man, 2 brothers though, that's kind of strange, isn't it?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah,
that is
I guess
the saying.
Not prizes you want.
No, absolutely not. So on a more positive local story, Jason Vansel named Educator of the Year for Versailles by the 2021 by the Versailles Area Chamber of Commerce. You'll see photos attached here. That's his wife Megan, and they have 3 boys, Michael, Jacob, and Joshua. And the reason I wanted to say this is because Coach Jason Vansel was one of the most influential teachers for me going through Versailles for a year and a half. And actually, I know this is going to be hard for you and everyone out there to believe, but I was kind of a punk know-it-all,
really?
And had an opportunity where Coach Vansel could have really given up on me, and we didn't speak for a while, but at graduation he pulled me aside and said, hey man, nothing hurt, go change the world. And that was one of the first times I ever saw a man be the bigger person and say, even though I have nothing to apologize for, he did, and that taught me a lot. And to this day, I'll never forget what Coach Vansel had done for me. So Coach Vansel, Jason Vansel, congratulations on Educator of the Year. Very well deserved. And he's a history teacher, but he just finds a way to get kids, even if they think history's boring, because he said it at his award when he gave his speech taking his award. He said, whether you got family history, sports history, car history, we'll find something you like, have fun with it, and that's what it's all about, is having fun. And he finds a way to relate to kids from every walk of life, and so very well deserved for Coach Vansel.
Nice. You've introduced me to him before, and told me that story, which is pretty greatness, man. That was one of those, in everybody's life they have those key moments, and that was one of them for you. And it's pretty amazing how you can play a role in people's lives like that.
Yeah, and he's overcome so much, and he is one of the greatest sharpshooters that ever played basketball at Versailles. And even still, a few years ago, they had a shoot around before a game. He's out there in work clothes, slacks and a shirt, and he hit 9 out of 13 threes.
Wow.
The guy can shoot. So congrats to Educator of the Year, Jason Vansel. Also, some more road improvements coming on Highway 54 as the J-turns and extended turning lanes are coming to lake area intersections.
Yeah, we've got, that construction, that new interchange, US 54 Route W. So crews are going to be working on that this week. It's going to be closed down for much of the week, apparently, so keep that in mind when you're driving around there. Construction on the new interchange began in February of 2020, supposed to be done at the end of this year, so they're making progress, making really good progress. And then the efforts to improve stuff in Miller County continues. The commission awarded a contract to Capital Paving and Construction just recently, just over $6 million, and a lot of projects they're doing there along Route 54, Route V, Route FF, Business 54 in Eldon, Lakeland Road, Walnut Grove, Hauser Road. I mean, a ton of them they're doing some work on. So I guess, as is the case spring and summer every year, you're going to have to deal with some construction in the area. They're working on it. And coming up, MoDOT is starting $1.5 million improvement at Bagnell Dam Strip Road too. So that's going to be closed down. I don't think right now, but coming up as the year goes on, that's going to be closed for a while too. So a whole lot of construction going on.
Tell you what, the roadways in this country are amazing.
Yeah.
You don't see that. Okay, so on to sports. Floyd Mayweather officially beat Logan Paul this weekend. It wasn't a sanctioned event, and there was no official winner declared, although knockouts were still legal. But it was 8 rounds, and Logan Paul went all 8 rounds, went the distance, and ESPN had the fight scored 78-74.
Wow.
As close as that was. And even after the fight, Floyd Mayweather came out and go, wow, he was a lot better than I thought he was going to be, and he gave him a pat and said, man, good for you, young man. That was impressive. Of course, Paul weighed 40 pounds more and is about 20 years younger, but still.
That helps.
It does help, but kudos to Logan Paul, YouTube sensation, that got in the ring for 8 rounds with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Mayweather's one of the greatest of all time.
I'd say pound for pound probably is the greatest of all time, and I don't if you're a boxing guy, I'm not sure there's any doubting that. I mean, his record of 50-0
Pretty great.
is still unscathed. You'll never fight again. He was asked after the fight, okay, so maybe no more small fights, unofficial fights, we're going to come out of retirement and have a real boxing match. And he said, oh, absolutely not. The real winner of that is both of those guys.
Yeah.
Both going to have huge paydays. And also on that same card, Chad Ocho Cinco with his first official boxing match.
Wow.
He did not get knocked out. He did get knocked down a couple times, but NFL world went crazy congratulating him, and he got a payout of over $1 million for that. I'd let someone hit me in the head for $1 million.
Yeah,
you got $1 million?
You've let him do that for nothing, man.
It's true. You know more than you should, okay? We've talked about NFL so far. Julio Jones, which is considered one of the greatest receivers of all time. He's officially headed to Tennessee to join up with A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. That franchise just continues to improve. And I'll tell you what, Atlanta didn't really get a lot. They got a second-round draft pick next year. They got a fourth-round draft pick in 2023. And on top of that, they got back a sixth-round draft pick. Did Tennessee with Julio Jones. So I think Tennessee definitely wins that. So crazy there. And then here, I wanted to ask you about this. Did you see, because you've been watching the college World Series.
Yeah, the NCAA baseball tournament. Yeah.
And did you see it was Dallas Baptist and Oregon State. Crazy situation. The score's 5-2, bottom of the seventh, 2 outs. And Andrew Benefield's up, and he launches a grand slam, which gives Dallas Baptist the lead 6-5. And you'll see here in this video, look at the home plate umpire. As soon as he starts to admire that with a little swag, urges him, get down to first.
Down there. Act like you've been there before, man.
Yeah, but listen, it's College World Series. 5-2, bottom of seventh, 2 outs. And this is the field of dreams moment every young man dreams of.
And that was the game-winning home run there, too.
And so you're telling me that you're not allowed to admire it? Like, how far do we take the fun, the game part out of baseball where the ump doesn't even let him look at his home run?
But you know what? I think that's the difference in generations. My generation, because I'm a lot older than you, said, hey, act like you've been there before. Be a professional. Don't be a little jerkwad kind of thing. And today's generation is all about the celebrating, the end zone dance, and the admire the home run and the bat flip, And so there's just, I think, a different way to look at it. I think my generation looks at it as classless, and the younger generation looks at it as, hey, we're just having a good time.
This coming from the guy in your generation of baseball, it was widely accepted to throw at people when things didn't go your way.
That's right.
And that was as classless.
That was policing baseball, man. If you were doing something wrong, you got thrown at and you stopped doing it wrong.
And I agree. That's the way it should be. There shouldn't be ejections. There shouldn't be fines for that. That's part of baseball, and so is celebrating. When you do something good in your career, you could celebrate it, and I think that's wrong. I think the umpire should have stayed in his place. All right, so this week, as we wrap up, Chris, we got so many big-time events coming this weekend.
Greatness.
First, we talked about the world's largest boat parade attempt to break that Saturday. Also, 14th annual Canine Cannonball Saturday at Dog Days.
Bigger than all of that, though, KB's new show starts Thursday the 17th, here
this
on
coming
Lake TV.
Thursday, not of course this week. You may, as you're watching this, may have already happened, but the 17th, so this coming Thursday, What's Burning with Kevin KB Burns, that will debut at 7 o'clock.
And he's on the Spotlight show this week, too. So get to know all about KB, where he came from and everything. Spotlight show right here on Lake TV.
A couple other events, and of course this event will probably have happened by the time you're watching, but Thursday night on Bagnell Dam Strip at 6:30, the 10th annual Great Dane meetup is on the Strip. They'll be parading up and down the Strip. There'll be numerous Great Danes. You can catch video of that.
I hope they got a
Lake
whole lot
TV's.
of big pooper scoopers there, man.
I told them you were volunteering to come follow everybody and shovel it, throw it over
You're
your
going to need
shoulder.
a shovel for that.
So also don't forget Friday night, Hot Summer Nights from 5 to 10 p.m. And then Lee Bryce will be at the Ozarks Amphitheater. Got to check out the rest of their incredible concert lineup at ozarksamp.com. For Chris Schneider.
Boy, time flies, doesn't it?
It does fly.
Wow.
For Uncle Chris, I'm William Holtz. We're going to give a shout out to Jill Ray, Daryl Cunningham, and the incredible crew right here at Slumberland Lake. Make sure you come by and see them. Until next time, later.